What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Career Mode. We're into episode number 132, I believe. If you didn't watch last episode, guys, go back and watch it. It was the Champions League final live, and if you missed it, you certainly want to go back and watch it, is all I'm going to say right now. So, I won't spoil the episode for you, so I'm not going to mention what happened in it. So you have to go back and see if you want, or you have to watch the episode if you want to know if we won the Champions League or not, and how that in fact went. But for anybody that did watch it, you'll of course know the result of that game. And today's episode, we are planning on splashing the cash. Absolutely insanity on players everywhere, coming in, going out, and just in general. You're about to see so many new faces and so many changes to the players that are already here at the club. So, I want to say as well, some of these guys may have been, suggestions that you guys left me. Other ones, not so much, because of the fact that they're game-generated players on some occasions. It obviously means you guys won't know what sort of players are in there game-generated-wise unless you've already seen them, in which case, you won't be able to give them as suggestions. But I know for sure that Ousmane Dembele was definitely a suggestion, and he's somebody that I'm trying to go for in today's episode. Joel Green, of course, was in there because of the fact we had him at Leeds, but it doesn't look as if he's going to come because they're wanting an astronomical amount of money in the end for him. And then there was a couple of other players here and there that I offered deals for that you guys have suggested. I think Tolisso was one of the ones who wasn't suggested, who I actually went in for. I spoke about him previously in this series and how much I want to try and get him to the team because he looks pretty good. Looks very much like a cheap man's Pogba, if you will, with all-around beastly stats. So, you'll be able to see the signings that we do in fact make in today's episode, and those are to come later on in the stages of today's episode. We also play against Juventus in the Super Coppa, so that could be interesting. We obviously took the league off Juventus last season, and we took the trophy in terms of the Coppa Nazionale off them as well. Apologies if you didn't watch those episodes, and they have now been spoiled, but if you did, you'll know, of course, that's what happened. So, it's a bit weird to be playing Juventus again so soon, but it seems as though we are the two most informed Italian teams. We got, I think Juventus as well got themselves to a, was it Champions League quarter-final last time out? I'm pretty sure the semis were us, Leeds, PSG, and Manchester United. So, yeah, I think they played Man United in the quarterfinals and ended up getting knocked out in that situation. So, they were doing pretty well for themselves in the Champions League. Not quite as good as they were probably hoping for. But ourselves as well, we managed to reach the final. And, of course, if you haven't watched it, you won't know how that happened. But the aim for this last season, and it is definitely going to be the last season, guys, I know for sure. I just want to basically try and go unbeaten in the full league campaign. We almost did it last year. We just didn't manage to do it in the end. And also, I really, really, really want to end the series off on a high in terms of winning the Champions League again. If we can do it again, that would be absolutely great to do. And, if we don't do it, then I understand that I've probably not completed the series, if you will, in terms of that. But we've already won it so many times that I don't need to have it another time. The only thing for me that I really want to do before this series ends is that unbeaten season in a top flight of football. And we have the last chance to do it here at Inter Milan. So most of these signings are brought in mind of us trying to get that unbeaten season. Therefore, I need the world's best players to come in and do the job for us. And I need squad depth as well. That's going to be a main thing for it. Now, for anybody wondering what's going to happen after this career mode, don't worry. I do have something planned after this one. You have to wait and see what it is. Even if it's just like a stepping stone. It's a bit of a challenge style career mode. So if you're not interested in that, there will still be the Road to Glory career mode uploaded every single day, as I possibly will be able to get it out every single day. Now we're in the Premier League with that. It becomes the point of now you're going to get more interesting games with the Road to Glory style of the career mode because of the fact that we're in the Premier League. So there's more to play for in that, if you will. And once this one ends, I do have that challenge one to come, but there is still definitely going to be one more before the end of FIFA because I owe you guys an overseas team career mode. Now, I suppose this has been an overseas team, but I promised most of the followers that I had back when I had 500, 600 subs, which seems so long ago now, but it actually wasn't too long ago that I'd do a Bundesliga career mode. So that I'm going to try and get out before the end of FIFA 17 and before the start of FIFA 18 for you guys. So there's still loads more to come after this series is done on the channel, so don't you guys worry. There's still going to be content for you guys to enjoy every single day at hopefully 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock, as I like to do in the days. And hopefully you're enjoying as well your Thursday. Just think, guys, tomorrow is Friday. The weekend begins as soon as you guys leave school, work, whatever it is you do. You'll have a very good weekend on your hands, hopefully. So you can see the signings we're trying to make in today's episode. Ousmane Dembele offering him a contract to try and bring him here to the San Siro for next season. Hal Gunter, one of the player-generated players. Now, this one's an interesting one because in terms of overall, he's not the highest overall player that we could have gone for a centre-back. But I looked into more depth in terms of his quality. He's 6'4". His physicals, he's got 98 jumping, and for a 6'4" centre-back is crazy. He's also got something like 77 acceleration and 77 sprint speed, so he's very quick. For a centre-back, that physical side of his game is absolutely astounding. To have it at 6'4" as well makes it even better. So I brought him into the team with the mindset of, I can put him in the training, I can train up his defensive stats, I can train up his heading, get him to the point where he's going to be an absolutely beast centre-back, and he can partner either Kurt Zouma or Silveira at the centre-back role, because both of those guys, of course, came in. And in this episode, guys, I forgot to actually take the number 4 off of Kurt Zouma and the number 3 off of somebody else, because once you start signing players, it automatically generates them a number, of course. And Kurt Zouma got given number 4, and somebody else got given number 3. So I do take them off for the next episode, but for this one, unfortunately, they're still on. Of course, both of those shirt numbers, I think, are retired, as I've been told by you guys in the comments below. So from the next episode, they will be completely done and out of it again. Hopefully, if I remember that I've done it. I think I've done it. I think for next episode they're actually taken off, so we won't have a number 3 or number 4. But as I was saying, you know, I know the centre back himself. You can see we made the signing there of Hal Gunter. He's actually Welsh. There are his stats, and for a physical side of his game, he's quality. For his mental, it's decent. I just need to improve that technical in terms of his tackling, his marking, and his heading, and we will have an absolute beast centre-back there. 6'4" as well. He's got perfect height, in my opinion, and what a signing he could be. Ousmane Dembele, of course, everybody knows about this guy. 90 rated in the game right now. 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. Very good stats all across the board on him. Good finishing as well. So, and I think we made the signing of Tolisso as well. And if you look on the right-hand side, every single stat is in the light green, barring crossing, which is very nearly there. So that's crazy. In my opinion, he's one of the most well-rounded and beastly centre midfielders that you can get your hands on in a very, very good position. So that is what I was thinking of. Now, I went in for a right back because unfortunately we suffered an injury to Lees Mello, which is going to keep him out for 2 months. In which case, I wasn't feeling confident in just having Carmona there, so I thought I needed probably a right back to come in. So I went for one that was in the same division as us. So he's obviously played Serie A football. He knows what it's about. He knows how exactly difficult it's going to be. And it was an 84 rated game generated regen, or it might not have been regen actually. It might have just been like a youth academy player, but he was actually an 84 rated right back, so I went in for him. I tried to get him the signing done. You'll have to see if we do in fact make that signing later on in the episode. There's still him, or possibly João Pereira, of course, formerly of Leeds, now at Arsenal in the save, because we swapped him for Hector Bellerin way back when we were at Leeds and Leeds United boss. So he is the other signing I was looking into, and you'll have to see which one we do in fact end up getting. We're into the semis of the pre-season tour. We take on Manchester United, beat them by 2-0, and then unfortunately straight after that one, we suffered yet another injury. This time it was to Lou for 2 months. So I went ahead and decided I was going to have to get a keeper in, because although we have a keeper at the club already, he's 81 rated, and I just didn't feel as though right now he was going to be that great for us. So I went ahead and looked at Petr Cech's regen from Hull City, and he was basically the only one that I liked the look of. So I went ahead and tried to sign him, and it was going to be quite cheap actually, because he's on a very short-term contract over at the KC Stadium. So I was thinking to myself, if I can get him in, yes, he's not going to play every game, but he's still going to be a pretty good signing for us, and especially for the cup games as well. If Lou needs a rest, he'll be a good keeper to come in his place. So that's why I kind of thought going in for him would be a good idea. I mean, yeah, you can sort of kind of see what I'm doing and trying to get with the team, you know, the squad depth and stuff. And in my opinion, I think this team is good enough to take us in that full season unbeaten spree. We almost did it last year with that team, so I believe that this team can be the team to make me do it. I've done it once. I've gone a full league campaign unbeaten. If you remember, we did it at Hartlepool in the Road to Glory one, but that was at League 1 level. I've never done it at top flight football, so this could be the first time that I ever do it in a single career mode in my entirety of playing FIFA, which would be crazy to do. And now we've made the signings, guys, as well. I am sort of considering switching it to a different formation. I do try it out in this game coming up against Juventus with a 4-3-3 with a CDM, and I played, I do believe, of course, it would have been Lou in net had he not been injured. I played the other keeper we've got at the club. I can't quite remember his name off the top of my head. I think it's Bardi, is it? Possibly. Bardi played in there with the back four of Zouma, Silveira, and then a right back. I think it might have been Carmona who came into that right back spot, and then Dalbert at left back. And then I played with Tolisso, Sanchez, Fosu Mensah as a midfield three, and then I had Inaki Williams, Ousmane Dembele, and Marcus Rashford as a front three. Of course, we're missing in that. We're missing Vincenzini, we're missing Schopf, we're missing Ziterbo, we're missing Mauro Riccardi, we're missing João Mario, we're missing Donso, we're missing all these big players. But at the end of the day, it's good to have squad depth, because then these guys can come on and replace those guys without even having a worry in the world. You know what I mean? So I looked into it and I was thinking, if I make those sort of changes and just try it out and see what happens, if I try it out in this game against Juventus here, even if we don't, or even if we suffer a defeat in that one, it's not going to matter to the top flight trying to go the full season unbeaten. That could be something that I have to think of, because of course if I try and change something drastically and then make a mistake and get a defeat, it's basically done. My entirety of what I'm trying to go for this season will be done. So I chose to do it against this game against Juventus here. Yes, it's an important game in a final, but at the end of the day, like I said, I wanted to try this new formation out, see how I played with it, see if I enjoyed it, and see what happened. So again, you'll see the team on your screen in just a second. I do believe, actually, we've got a couple more signings to come in the later stages of this episode. Of course, if the right back's already signed, I can't quite remember. If he has done, then of course you'll have seen it. And if he hasn't done, he will be signing in this episode. And then, of course, Petr Cech's regen is the other one to come into the team. So this is the game we had against Juventus. We are playing at the San Siro, which is a bit weird considering that that's our home ground, which is not theirs. So in many ways, we kind of had the home advantage for this final, if you will. So we sort of had a bit more of an advantage, I guess, if you can say it's an advantage playing at home, because sometimes it can be, other times it might not be. And I didn't really look at the Juventus team, in honesty, which is a bad decision by me. I was planning on looking at, and you can see I did take it into our side of the things, and you can see that we did actually make the signing of the right back there, so he does start at right back for us, and that was the team we named. And Juventus actually got off to the better of the two teams. They had a chance 22 minutes into it. Fantastic little move there, but I don't know why Dalbert's bringing the ball down. That's one thing that I have to say about FIFA that really stresses me out, is the fact of when you're trying to clear it first time, your players seem to bring the ball down and take a touch for some stupid reason. Now, I've noticed it happen quite a lot, and there it almost screwed me, because Juventus had a good chance to take the lead, and it only just went wide of the post. We had a very similar chance, though, and not too long later, when Marcus Rashford, on his debut for the club, manages to take a strike on, but it went wide of the bottom corner. I thought he was going to find that bottom corner, but unfortunately not. Into the 71st minute of this game now, Renato Sanchez, it brings the quality to the field that he has got, finds a nice through ball, and Ousmane Dembele is there to finish the chance off. 73 minutes on the clock, and the new signing, the very, very expensive Ousmane Dembele, manages to slot home from a very, very good through ball from Renato Sanchez. So we took the lead here inside this in 73 minutes. What I will say is I wasn't feeling completely comfortable like I did with a 4-4-2, of course, diamond. That's what we used to play. I wasn't feeling as comfortable with this 4-3-3 game situation than what I was with that 4-4-2 diamond. But what the 4-3-3 does give us is it allows us to have all our attacking players in the same team at the same time. So I'm going to have to consider this, and I'm going to have to consider what I'm going to do in terms of a formation for the upcoming season to try and go completely unbeaten. That's the aim. That's what we're going for before this series comes to a close. Hopefully we can do it, and hopefully as well we'll manage to at least, you know, have a good Champions League campaign. That's all I'm going for. Champions League campaign, and then alongside that, it's just trying to go unbeaten, basically. So we'll see how we get on. I mean, we could end up losing it straight away. We could lose our first game in the Calcio A. And if that happens, then pretty much, guys, we'll just be going for the Champions League. So I'm not expecting to lose that first game of the season. I'm expecting to absolutely smash whoever it is with this new team and with the players that we've brought into the club, which is something that, of course, I want to try and do. You can see Kurt Zuma lifting the trophy for us. I don't know why he's been given the armband, but he did get given the armband, and we have yet another trophy to add to this Inter Milan trophy cabinet. So a very good result there, beating Juventus by 1-0. I did actually make a couple of changes in that one as well. Gianmario came off the bench along with Donza. So that's why they are in there and are in their kits as well. So you can see some of the new boys there celebrating their first trophy as an Inter Milan player. Hopefully more of that to come in this final season as we look to retain the league title, to retain the cup, and then try and win the Champions League. So that's going to be it from me. If you have enjoyed this episode, though, guys, I'd appreciate a like rating. Of course, thank you all so much for your continued support on the channel, and I appreciate everything you guys do for me. If you want to follow me on Twitter, there is my Twitter down in the description below, as it usually is there. I post occasionally whatever I'm feeling at the time, and also every single upload gets posted to Twitter. So if you ever do not want to miss it, follow me on Twitter, and you will never miss an upload as per usual. So thank you all so much for watching, guys. I'm Danny. Hope you enjoyed, as I said, and stay tuned for another video tomorrow at 4 PM and 6 PM UK time. Adios.